everyone. How's everyone doing? We have a special guest, but I'm Jessica, and this is Liz. Welcome to the Grieving Sisters. We are here. Keanah. So I actually met her through my best friend, and I interviewed with her for Planted Seed. This was 2021, so 4 years ago. And then we finally met like 2 years ago, face to face, and like we just embraced each other.
I feel like we met
But before that, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
So I was just like, I said that, we're doing this podcast. I actually reached out to her. I think it was like not even a month into doing the podcast. And I was like, hey girl, I'm doing a project and I want you to be a part of it. And she was like, heck yeah, like, let me know. So I had to let Liz know. I was like, Liz, we definitely have a 100% show up on time guest. So.
And I'm Dominican.
Yeah. So she did not run on Dominican time. We got here on time. And again, we're very it's very lighthearted and stuff like that. And we've just been talking about so many different things. And, one of the things that we're kind of breaking the silence of, grief after suicide loss. And, I invited Keanah because, you can go ahead and like kind of tell your story and, talk about you.
Okay. I'm Keanah Rodriguez, the daughter of Florencio Rodriguez. I don't even know where to start, really.
That's okay.
I wasn't prepared for that part, but
it's okay.
I want to say when I was in high school, I had a feeling that something was off with my dad, but he didn't live with me. He lived in another state. After high school is when he told me that he didn't want to live anymore, which I wasn't knowledgeable of anything suicide. I was just like, I don't really like how this sounds, but
no, you're good.
But in my mind, I'm like, you're talking crazy. Like, why are you even talking like that? Sorry. And because he was such a jokester, I'm like, you're being so dramatic right now, whatever. But then I realized, okay. Then my uncle told me, like, it's a little bigger than what you think. Like, your dad has a drug problem. So I'm like, oh, really? That was hard for me to, that was harder. The drug problem was harder for me to take in. And then him being suicidal, I didn't think that it was serious. That's another thing that I realized afterwards. Like, when somebody's talking like that, most of the time people think that they're doing it just for attention. And it really happened.
Right.
So,
well, they say too, like when they want to give away their prized possessions and like things like that. I don't know. Like, I feel like they always.
I heard that. Yeah.
Like they give away prized possessions and, they'll say like different things and you're kind of like, oh, okay. But it's kind of like, we talked about Robin Williams a little bit in our celebrity episode. I just feel like, it's a hard topic, and especially with men, and now, I don't know when this is, men of color. Right. And then that this is going to be, probably a little bit past men's mental health awareness, right? This is, we're recording in June. But tell us a little bit about your relationship with your dad before, everything happened. Yeah.
My parents had me young. I'm not going to say how old they were, because then people start adding up. It's really because of my mom. My mom doesn't want anybody adding up how old she actually is. But they had me young, and my dad was like the fun parent. My mom was super strict, super strict. I couldn't even go to school on Halloween. But my dad would be like, yes, stay up as late as you want, eat whatever you want. It was... So with my dad, I kind of feel like he was more of a friend, because my mom was just like, and my dad would say, if you want to do anything, ask your mom first. Like,
I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, so we were cool that way. I was a lot, I was more comfortable speaking to him about certain things. And then as I got older, it was more with my mom. But I kind of became the parent towards the end, which... It was so normal for me. I remember the last time I took him to rehab. I don't know if it was rehab. I forgot what it was. I literally put them into so many programs. I don't even remember.
Right.
And one of the nurses there, she was so sweet. she's like, okay, like, can you put your husband's information down?
Oh.
So I'm like, that's my dad. Right? I was like, that's my dad. So I'm thinking, like, he's going through his suicide. I'm telling you, like, he's like going crazy, but he's still making jokes. He's like, do I look that young? I'm like, dude, like, you're like, you know, whatever. So she actually started crying, which was like, I'm like,
it triggered. It was
right.
A trigger.
I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old, and she starts crying, and she's like, you know, it's usually parents bringing in their kids, like never a kid bringing in their parent. Like,
it's a big responsibility you took on to try and help him with this.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that was like. I'm sorry that I keep.
No, you're
no, you're good.
I'm like right in the middle, but I didn't notice how big that was just because my dad is like, this stays between us. He didn't want anybody to know, and I'm like, I think that you should probably see somebody professional because like I don't know. He's like, no, I have you. So it like I felt
extra
so
pressure.
needed, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna get my dad through this, when in reality, like you can't do that.
No.
Especially me being that young and having no knowledge of mental health, drug addiction. I still to this day have never been drunk a day in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't know about any of that stuff. So I was just like, okay, like maybe he doesn't think it's that big either, and we could just get through it together. But yeah, I became the parent. I became the parent.
Yeah. What did you do to like for your cope and your grief? Because I know Liz, you know, like she's still like literally in the middle of like grieving. Like her sister just passed, like it's 6 months ago. Yeah. So her sister passed 6 months ago. My dad passed 6 months ago.
Right.
And then my brother passed 6 years ago.
Right.
Dang. Six. You know what I feel about
And that's the craziest thing that you're saying, 6, because was it yesterday or the day before? 6/6.
6/6 was the day before.
yesterday.
The day before yesterday. That's my cousin's birthday. And he just passed away in August. So this is his first birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, so we
yeah. It's a lot.
that's a whole other story. It wasn't suicide.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
The number 6.
The number,
that keeps coming.
So in one of the episodes, we Liz and I were talking about numbers, and you know, my brother passed on my dad's birthday, which is 2/9, which is 11, and then my dad passed on 11/11.
Wow.
And there's a couple more, but I'll save it because you know I don't want people know too much. But yeah. But I'll save that. Yeah. It's a lot.
There's 6s all around.
Yeah, but. Yeah, so what did you do? Like I said, Elizabeth, she's like in the middle of her, you know, coping and trying to find balance. And, you know, she has her children, she has a career, she just bought a house. Like, she just has like a lot of stuff on her plate. Yeah. So, like, I don't know, like, what have you been doing to cope?
I'm going to be so honest with you. I was so lost in that time. I was so young and so confused, like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I remember right when he passed away, like people were telling me stories about him, and I'm like, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But then my memory like slowly started to come back, but I don't have any advice.
Right. Imagine that.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I hate that. But I don't remember what I did. I was lost.
But remember, like we talked about, like the grief having
like a grief tunnel.
fog. Yeah, the grief tunnel, and like it was like you're in a brain fog. You don't remember.
Yeah. You start to forget like so many things, and then slowly you'll get some like memories back because you're just your brain is like on high alert when it comes. You know, I think also because the 3 of us have lost people close to us through like tragedy. You know, like your father. I guess you can say he was sick with addiction, but it wasn't like a terminal illness where you were at the hospital. It's kind of like this quick thing, you know, that happens, and you're trying to like 1 minute your dad's here and 1 minute he's not, you know. What do you wish that people understood a little bit more about suicide?
I think that now a lot of people know a lot more about it, right? But still, there's a lot of people who, this never bothered me before. It only bothered me afterwards, where people are like, oh my goodness, like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm going to kill myself.
And it's like,
oh my goodness, that is like a stab in my heart every single time somebody says that, because I'm like, But before, it did not bother me because it had nothing to do with me. But it just reminds you again, like.
Right, to be more mindful of, like, and saying things like that.
Yes, something so small like that just reminds me of, like, and then I think about, what were my dad's last thoughts? I have no idea. I have no idea what he was thinking, and then I think to myself, like, were you even thinking about me? You know? So just, like, small things like that really trigger me. Like, people say, like, oh, I'm just going to play in traffic, and it's like, all right. It's funny to you, but
y'all trying to be funny, but it's not funny.
It's really not funny. It's not. I'm like, all right. And I play all day.
Right.
So sometimes I just, like, take it to the chin, but really, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, why would you say that?
Right.
Yeah. Just like those little jokes, I just wish that they were just non-existent.
I get it.
I think that a lot of people, especially when you become an adult, especially after the pandemic, everybody knows what mental health. You know, everybody's more in tune with their mental health now because, like, we were going through it, no matter what you say.
Oh, everybody.
I don't care how many stimulus checks you got. Like, you were going through it during the pandemic, staying stuck in the house, not being able to socialize.
Nothing.
Looking crazy, too, right? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how I only got to do interviews with people. Like, I didn't get a chance to meet with anyone because of, not that, I don't want to say I didn't care, but I was just like, let's wear a mask or let's go somewhere that's outside. Let's do something because I like this interaction versus, you know, being on Zoom and you're on Zoom the whole entire time.
I dropped out of school because of Zoom.
Yeah, I would have did the same thing. Like,
I couldn't do it.
No, it's a lot. But yeah, you know, I think that was a great question that you posed for her, you know, and I think that, so after he passed, like, what were your, like, coping skills? Like, what did you do to, like, kind of bring yourself, like, some peace, some solace, and also to get rid of that guilt, because it sounded like you have a little guilt.
The only reason I even had guilt was because, like, I was so mad. The last time I spoke to him, I was so mad at him. I was so mad at him. But him and I had these arguments all the time. So I just thought, like, we were going to argue, not speak for a couple of days, and then I'm just going to see him again. Let him have it and then go back to our thing. But then somebody told me something. So I'm sorry, I don't know how your sister passed away. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, no, we have her, she did a whole episode and I did a whole episode.
I didn't check the podcast before.
Oh no, you're fine.
But I'm going to tell you guys why, because I didn't want to, like, I kind of wanted to be a little surprised.
Sure.
And I didn't want to be like, oh, this person said this. And, you know, I just wanted to just go in. So I don't know how she passed away. But I remember I finally went back to work after that. I want to say like a month later. And I saw one of my coworkers. Her name is Keanah. And she's an older Italian lady. I love her so much. She told me that her father passed away. And she's like, oh, so how did your dad pass away? And that's something I wasn't ready for. Just because, like, I feel like people pass away in car accidents, you know, like cancer and all of this stuff. And it's just like, he did it to himself. Are you serious? I really felt like I was going to get that. But with her, I was just like, you know, I told her. And she's like, oh, my goodness. I'm getting chills right now even. Oh, my goodness. She says to me, people attempt it all the time, but they don't really think that it's going to happen. When she said that, like, the whole world was lifted off my shoulder. Because now I'm thinking it was an attempt, and he didn't think that it was going to really happen. So I'm telling myself that. I'm like, he didn't mean to do it. He didn't mean to do it. He was in police custody at the time, which there's a lot of people want to blame them, which I do too, just because he was very vocal about how he was. They had him, his story was he got locked up, then he was telling them he was feeling suicidal, and they took him to the hospital. They cleared him from the hospital, then they took him back to lock up, and they weren't paying attention to him, and he, you know. So that was something big for me, because I'm like, he was literally telling you guys, how did he get cleared from there? But again, I'm 21 years old.
Right, you're not.
I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I would be dropping him off to rehabs in the morning and then making my 7 a.m. classes. Like, I was just like so into that routine, and then he passed away, and it's like, I felt like I wasn't needed anymore. I felt like I wasn't enough.
Well, like my dad, like, you know, I went from not having to take care of my dad all the time to now, you know, like I take care of my daughter, but it's not the same. Like I'm just used to for almost 10 years, like, oh, I gotta go take care of my dad, or I'm gonna go see my dad for his birthday.
My world revolved around my
So it wasn't just the void of him not being on the side anymore, but it was also a void of like you doing all these things, being a giver, and like taking care of him, right? So it's like you kind of have like all this time, and you're like,
right, because I have like a bunch of family members, and they were just like, oh, he's a grown man, he could deal with it by himself. So I take it. And I'm like, no, that's my dad.
Right.
Like, I don't care what anybody's. I'll do anything for my dad.
Right, right.
So, yeah, that was hard for me. That was hard for me.
What would you say to someone like listening right now? Like, again, right? You know how you were kind of like, you know, I really didn't remember so much and stuff like that. But like, if someone's listening right now, like, obviously we talked a little bit about like the signs, like if they're joking around and they're saying it, they start giving away prized possessions and stuff like that. Is there any advice that you would give them or tell them to like look out for, anything in that nature?
I would just say to always stay in communication with that person. Yeah. Because like I said, him and I got into a lot of arguments. I mean, listen, I'm a Sagittarius. He was a Leo. Like we went at it.
Sag moon, that's where we're connected. I told you.
So we went at it a lot, and I was so stubborn. He was too, though. So I'm not putting this all on myself. That is for you too. Like he would be upset. He would call. He would tell his friends that I'm his probation officer. Yeah, like he's like, here comes my PO. Like I know where he hangs out. Yeah. And if I'm calling his phone and he's not answering, I'm like,
you're gonna roll up.
Right. He's like, here's my PO, right? So I'm like, get in the car. Yeah. It was crazy. No, it was crazy. I just stay in communication with that person.
Yeah, because some people think like I'm gonna give someone space.
No. Yeah.
And sometimes when somebody's going through something, people think, well, I'm going to give that person some space. Yeah, right. And really, you don't need the space. Yeah.
No. You need someone to just sit there.
I also, I watch a lot of like suicide prevention stuff. I was trying to become a hotline person. Yeah, but that's too much for me.
It's a lot.
It's too much because if it's not successful, like I'm not going to be able to live with myself. I was trying to do that. But somebody said to make the person feel as needed as possible.
Right. Yeah.
So they said, like, make sure, you know, like, plan things ahead. Like, oh, you're going to be there. You're going to be there.
Right.
Things like that. I mean, I tried that with my dad. He was all over the place. But it seems like something good for somebody that, you know, wants to feel needed, wants to feel included.
Right.
So just try to keep them busy. But I feel bad that I don't have that much advice.
No, it's not. I mean, this is valuable information, you know, and it was a tough situation I feel like you've been through. You know, again, right? It's something tragic. And kind of like what Liz said, is like one day they're here, the next day they're not. Right. So it's like, you know, you got to go through like the waves, and, you know, they talk about all the steps of grief and just all that stuff in between, you know. So
how did you learn of your father's passing?
That was the craziest thing. Leading up to that, because so he confessed to me that he was suicidal in 2012.
Okay.
So then after that, it was just like a downward spiral. I ended up moving to Maryland because he was in Maryland and he was like just doing a bunch of stuff that he shouldn't be doing. And then I ended up moving back. Then he ends up moving to New Jersey without telling me, which I was extremely pissed off about because I know that drugs are more accessible in Patterson than anywhere else. So I'm like super pissed off. And the way that I literally like ran into my dad at Home Depot.
Wow.
I was like, I'm telling you, I was so mad. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, surprise. I'm like, oh, no. So he was with this lady. We're not going to say her name. But he was with her and she was just completely obsessed with him. She started doing drugs. I'm not sure if it was because of him or they just had something in common.
Their connecting. Yeah, that was their connection maybe.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
You're so funny.
How did I learn about the passing? Okay. Yeah. So I was dating this guy, and he was a personal trainer, so he would be up early in the morning, and he would call me after his first client, which is like around 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in bed, and I hear my phone ringing, and it's not his regular ringtone, and it's not 7 o'clock yet. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? I look at my phone, and it's my uncle, my dad's brother, like the one that we all depend on. He's actually my cousin's dad that just passed away. The best. So I saw that he called my phone, so I go to my mom's room, and I'm like, my dad died. My mom's like, what are you talking about? Right away. I knew, because my uncle, he doesn't call me.
Right.
And he's surely not going to call me that early in the morning. And if my dad was in trouble, he would have texted me, like you know, he would have texted me instead of waking me up. So my mom is like, no. I'm like, now they were really good friends. They were high school sweethearts. They broke up like a year after I was born. And they just remained friends. Like, they were cool. Really good co-parents. And my uncle called her. And I told her, don't put him on speaker. She answers the phone, and she's like, what? No. So my heart is racing. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, what the heck is going on? What's going on? And then she's like, she confirmed it. So she's like, what? She was in denial for a long time.
Sure.
But at the same time, my dad told me not to tell anybody.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my goodness. Now she's going to be mad at me because I didn't tell her how my dad was feeling. Maybe she could have helped him. Now I'm feeling everything.
Sure.
Everything. And then I'm thinking, like, wait a second. I didn't graduate college. I didn't have any kids. Like, he's not going to see anything. So for a long time, which I recently just changed my mind, for a long time, I'm like, I'm not going to have any kids. Why would I bring somebody into the world that's as close to me as I am to this man, and they don't know anything about him? They don't know how he laughs. They don't know how annoying he was. They don't know how funny he was. They don't know how energetic he was, how embarrassing he was. They're not going to know any of that. But I recently changed my mind. We'll get into that.
No, okay.
I understand that, because I feel like I can't be in a relationship because I can't date someone who never knew my sister.
Right. Yeah. So they won't get it.
I'm gonna have to spin the block.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he is so much of me, and I don't think that you're really gonna understand how. Because I'm a perfect mix of my mom and my dad. My mom is way more reserved. My mom is hilarious though. And my dad was just out there and like a complete goofball. Right. So much of them is me, and knowing that, like, even new people in my life, I'm like, you're not going to understand me. You're not going to understand why I am the way I am. If you would have met my dad, you'd be like, oh, that's where she gets it from. Yeah, so I totally get it. It's hard, but we have to change that.
I know. I feel like I have to, like, if I ever am in a relationship again, like, it has to be somebody who knew her.
Yeah?
You're limiting yourself,
I know.
though.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah, I feel like it has to be somebody who knew her or knew me when she was still around. Right. Or stuff like that. Because I just feel like it's an energy that you can't explain.
You can't.
So I feel like that, like... So I don't know if, again, you didn't see any of that. We've been friends since we were 8 years old. So I knew her little sister. Oh, she knew my little brother. Okay. So we all, like, had sleepovers and, like, you know, we have funny stories. Yes. Yeah. So imagine her sister passed 2 days after my dad, and I was so happened to be with a client, and they went to the bathroom, and I just, like, was like, oh, Facebook, let me open up. And people were like, R.I.P. Nat, and I'm like, what? And then I went to her page. And then there was nothing, and I said, I think this is a lie. Like, y'all. Yeah. But that's how they found out, through social media.
So my sister and her husband was killed in a car accident. A truck hit them.
In North Carolina.
In North Carolina. And they were both pretty big in the naval community because they were both in the Navy. Yeah. And so it spread like wildfire, and actually the news picked it up. And it was on, like, the 6 o'clock news.
Wait, and with the name? With the names. Like, usually they say, like, we have to contact the family or whatever they put or whatever.
So somebody from the Navy put it on their Facebook and tagged both my brother-in-law and my sister. I was at work, and then my phone started blowing up, and it was my sister's best friend. And she was like, hey. And I was like, hi. And she was like, oh my God. And she said she was so relieved when she called me and I answered the phone with like a joyous hi, because she was like, that's how I knew it wasn't real. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And then she said, I don't know if you're seeing she was like, don't go on Facebook. And I was like, okay.
And she had to tell her mom, don't go on Facebook.
And she said, there's an article that's posting saying that your sister and her husband passed away. And I was like, I spoke to my sister 45 minutes before the accident. So to me, I was like, there's no way.
Right.
But I called her phone and it was dead. And I was like, that's fine. Like, her phone is usually like off, or, you know, like, she's not too much on the phone. But when I call my brother-in-law, he usually picks it up like second ring, you know? So when I called his phone and his phone was also off, I knew. Yeah. And that's when I called my mom and I was like, there's a news article that's naming both of them. And I've always understood that you're not supposed to name anyone
until you find the next of kin.
So nobody was notified. His sister, my brother-in-law's sister, was just notified. She called. So she was calling. My best friend was calling. My ex-fiance had just gotten the news and was driving to my job to break the news to me. But it's like people couldn't get to me fast enough.
Right.
But yeah, I was at work. And I was at my desk.
And to know Nat, she was as cool as a cucumber. Yeah. Like, she was just the coolest chick on the block. Yeah. Like, she was, I mean, so I totally understand, like, especially not having her around. And, you know, like, we actually talked about it in our motherhood episode that, like, you know, she wanted to have another child. Like, they were trying. And she was
she had kids?
No, they were trying. Yeah. And she was coming from a doctor's appointment. Yeah. Just coming from a doctor's appointment and going to my aunt's house to pick up something for the yard, to do some yard work.
So imagine that. So that's why, you know, Grieving Sisters came up like almost 2 months into your grieving. Yeah. And, you know, I contacted her. I was like, yo, we have to do this.
I started documenting, because I know we were asking you, like, what helped you. And I know it's hard for you to remember, like, what got you through the day. But surprisingly enough, like, I started connecting with people who had lost siblings on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I started I saw, like, they would do this hashtag, like, grief journey. And so, like, I think it was like, it's been 22 days without my sister. I started documenting, and just the engagement and people being like, you know, like, thank you for letting us in. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. It helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that you just said that, because that just sparked my memory. I would write my dad letters. Yes.
Such a good
I would write him letters.
Tip. Yeah.
And I still have that book. Wow.
Because it counts as journaling. And we talked about that like, journaling really helps.
Yeah.
So I remember doing that, and then one day I was mad.
That's the anger stage.
I was really mad, and I'm like rereading my not my messages to him, but my letters, and I'm like, when am I gonna make something about myself? Because this is all about how sad you were. So now I'm like, wait a second, I didn't deserve this.
Right.
So I wrote a letter to him, and I'm telling him, like, I'm mad at you.
As you should.
Yeah.
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 Just to get those emotions out.
Yeah. Like, my mom's parents. I'm sorry. We can't even put that in there.
No, you're good. You're good.
But his mom, my dad's mom, passed away in 2000.
Wow.
And I feel like that's
what triggered it.
That my aunt pointed that out to me. I didn't even know. My mom's sister pointed that out to me. She's like, you know, like, after his mom passed away, he wasn't the same. Then I start thinking, like, oh.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm like, you know what it's like to lose a parent. Like, why the heck would you make me go through that? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm writing it down, and I'm feeling bad, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, I'm entitled to these feelings. Like, just because he did this does not mean that I shouldn't be mad. So
absolutely.
I wrote to him a lot. Some were very nice, very sweet. Some were extremely sad, because I'm like, you left me in this world alone. Like, now I don't feel protected anymore. Like, now I'm getting super defensive when it comes to men, and I'm like, I can't just call my dad.
No.
You know what I mean? No. I can't do that anymore. No. He know that I was emotionally dependent on him. Him and I spoke all the time. You took my best friend away from me.
Right.
You were the person that I need right now to grieve,
Right.
But it's your fault. Other people have not, I don't know. It's a weird situation here because you can blame, other people have people to blame. Like a person driving, which, you know, I told you, my cousin just passed away. The blame is completely on the person that was driving.
Sure.
I'm sure it's the same thing for your sister. Cancer.
My dad.
Right.
My brother choked to death on my dad's birthday.
You see?
Yeah.
So I have to be mad at the same person that I'm grieving.
Right.
Because you still took that person away from me.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
That was confusing.
It hurts also because you said something that I can resonate with. It's like the person who isn't here anymore is the person you used to go to about everything.
Right.
My go-to, my person.
So I sympathize with that because that's basically who she was to me too. It was like, man, I saw something on I think it was Instagram that was like grief hits different when the only person who would be able to get you through the grief is the one that you're grieving.
Right.
That's so true.
And it's crazy. But to wrap up, you know, I did want to ask you and kind of put you out there. You know, what are you doing in your, like, for your father's memory? Like, what is your deeper purpose right now? Like, our deeper purpose is doing this podcast, hopefully that it reaches someone and really helps someone, which will, you know, we'll post the suicide hotline and the mental health hotline. Yeah. You know, we'll also be promoting that and putting that in this episode. But also, you know, like, how did you find your deeper purpose and how to honor him? So that's like a 2-part.
Yeah, I think that I do this unconsciously, subconsciously.
There you go.
I do this subconsciously, but I've been very involved in my community.
Yes,
back,
you are.
Right?
I've seen it. I watch you.
Giving back. And I want to say that the people that I cater to the most are the less fortunate. And I'm not saying that my dad was, but I do know that they have something in common.
Sure.
Most of them.
Right.
Have something in common. If it's not drug addiction, it's tragedy. My dad lost his mom and his 2 best friends.
Wow.
Back to back. And he just kept going on.
Right.
Didn't think about therapy or any of that stuff.
Right.
I'm in therapy, which I recommend to everyone. You just have to find a good one.
Right. Well, like we talked about it.
Find your match.
Interview them. Interview them.
Because I went to one and that was like absolutely terrible. I went to another one and we just unpacked everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
You do got to find a good one.
Yeah, so I do that. I was doing the suicide prevention walks every year.
Yeah.
And going to schools to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
With the kids, just because I feel like I recently did one 2 months ago.
Okay.
Which it was impromptu. I wasn't even supposed to do that, but I ended up doing that, and the kids opened up so much, and how much they relate to me, and all of that stuff. So I keep doing that, and a personal one. I go on vacation every year. I go on vacation once a year. At least, just because my dad did not.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he only lived 40 years.
Wow.
His 50th birthday is this August. So that's why I'm spending it in DR with my uncle, which I love doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go out every year just because he did not, and I feel like I'm honoring him in that way because he would want me to.
Yeah. Live for those who aren't here. Yeah.
So I'm seeing parts of the world that he's never seen before, and I'm just bringing a piece in.
I love that. Wow, thank you everyone. Listen,
thank you so much for sharing,
thank you for sharing. And you could check out Keanah. You could check her out on Small Businesses New Jersey on Instagram, and you can also check out the Grieving Sisters. We're on TikTok, YouTube.
Everywhere.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. Come, check us out and give us a follow, give us some likes, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.